Hey Nintendo fans and collectors, Lithium here from my channel Nintendo Collecting. Welcome back to my Zelda week. A lot of you have been asking so many questions based off the Legend of Zelda series for my Question Lithium videos that I decided I'm just going to answer some of them, try and answer one a day for the next week or so. This question comes from Jonathan Bain. It's via Facebook, and he asks, what is your fondest memory with the Legend of Zelda series? Before I even get into my own answer, please make sure you comment below what is your favorite memory with the Legend of Zelda series or your fondest memory. Personally, I have so many great experiences with this series because it is one of the best all time. It is one of my favorites of all time, but I'm going to give you my top 3 fondest memories. The first one comes when I was actually living in a university house with 5 other people, and this was right around the time when Skyward Sword was released. So I remember going to the store while living in university, picking up that game and being so excited to play it that I obviously raced home and I put it in, and most of my roommates were actually watching me play the game. What's interesting about the game is you can have 3 save files, so we actually started 2 other files for my other friends, and they started playing through the game as well. But that also meant I would frequently come home from university classes that term and want to play Skyward Sword, and someone would already be playing it, which was actually fun. It was pretty awesome to watch other people really enjoy the game and to share that experience with them. So I think that term I actually watched the game beaten at least 3 times, and after a few of them were done their save files, one of them started Hero Mode, and then another one of my roommates who hadn't played it yet started their own game, and I even think the girl that was living in our house started her own file as well. It was just such a collective experience of trying to beat such a good Zelda game with a great art direction, by the way, and I love how the Wii Remote is 1-to-1, that I really enjoyed playing this, especially even watching it 2 or 3 times or 4 times. It was definitely worthwhile. And that one guy who beat it on Hero Mode later on, actually, I'll get back to him later in the video, but his awesome perfection of beating that game really quick came in handy later on. My second top or fondest memory with The Legend of Zelda comes from growing up. I think a lot of you might have a similar experience, that your first Zelda game might be one of your fondest memories with the game. My first Zelda game was actually Ocarina of Time, debatably the best video game of all time, so I was really lucky to start the series with such a tremendous video game. I bought the N64 myself, and I remember buying the game. I did not have the collector's edition growing up, but since then I picked it up. For all of you that are Zelda fans, make sure you try and get this because the gold cartridge is really worth it. It's pretty awesome for a Zelda fan. But playing Ocarina of Time was such a cool experience, but that wasn't the only reason why I love the game and why it's nostalgic to me, but I actually grew up playing with my sister at my side. I would frequently be holding the controller, and she would frequently actually just be sitting beside me, kind of cheering me on, or kind of figuring out puzzles with me. And very often, I would solve a puzzle, and she would kind of say, how did you solve that, or how did you figure that out? And sometimes she would help me definitely solve a puzzle, and we worked through the game together. So it was really cool actually playing through the game early Saturday mornings and Sunday mornings, and late at night on weekdays after we were done our sports and homework and school and everything like that. I absolutely love this game. That is my second fondest The Legend of Zelda memory. And what tops that? What tops your top favorite game ever being played for the very first time? It's actually something that combines all 8 of these games that you see before you, all the way from the NES to the Wii. These 8 Legend of Zelda games are actually the first or the main series on the home console. All of them are loved by me and my friends, but I have not beat through all of them or played all of them on my own to the point where I can speedrun them. Speedrunning is just the way of playing a game through as much as possible and trying to usually get through it in a very quick time. And I was mentioning my friend that got really good at playing Skyward Sword, which came in handy. So I think that year, or the year before that, we actually played a Mario Marathon, and we came up with the idea, obviously, we need to do a Zelda-thon. So that same year, living with that same house of awesome university friends, we decided we're going to do a Zelda-thon, and we're going to try and beat all 8 of these games. Because I'm a collector, we actually owned a console that we could play all the games on. You kind of see the consoles back there. We obviously didn't have the Wii Mini at the time, but we had all the consoles, including the NES, to play these 8. We set up 4 TVs, and you can actually watch videos of these. I'll put a video in the doobly-doo below of the Legend of Zelda playlist that I have, of us actually playing through them. So one person, I believe, beat Zelda 1 and Zelda 2, another person beat A Link to the Past and Ocarina of Time, another person was kind of working through Majora's Mask off and on. I think we were all sharing Majora's Mask. Then someone else was playing Twilight Princess, and that guy who was amazing at Skyward Sword was playing it. But I personally was playing through Wind Waker, one of my other favorite Legend of Zelda games. Now I was playing this one because no one else really knew the game very well. And at the end of the game, I was so tired, but everyone was pushing me through, and it was really cool to see 4 TVs set up constantly with Zelda on the go, with such great games and everyone kind of helping each other when we all got stuck. And we played over 2 days, I think, of Legend of Zelda trying to finish these, and I can say we very successfully actually finished 7 of them. And the one that we didn't finish, the one glaring omission, and I have to mention this because it was so funny, because we were so delirious, we were over 50% done Majora's Mask. And my friend that I lived with, the same one with Skyward Sword, I think, he wanted to copy the file over so that he could play it on his own, at that same point. And in our delirium, he went to copy the file and he actually deleted it. And we were just so tired, it was so late in the marathon that we just decided, well, I guess we're not finishing Majora's Mask. So that's the bane of our existence. That was the one flaw in our entire Zeldathon. We definitely need to now, that means we need to go back and do a new Zeldathon and beat all of these games again. And whenever the Legend of Zelda Wii U is released, we'll probably have to have another Zeldathon trying to beat all 9 games on main home consoles. We were thinking of including 4 Sword Adventures, but we couldn't really get to it, we just didn't have time. Maybe we'll include that next time. But comment below, what is your fondest memory of The Legend of Zelda? Mine was simply sharing it with friends, sharing that experience, and basically gaming in one of the best series of all time with people that also enjoy it really increased and heightened my experience with the game. Thank you so much for watching. If you didn't know, I actually now have an Instagram account. Again, the link is in the doobly-doo, and I posted a lot of my collection for The Legend of Zelda to start my Instagram account. So feel free to follow me on that. Also, feel free to fill that like bucket, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and Instagram, and remember, as always, go collect them all.